I know a funny story. Okay, okay, you guys. Okay, so there was this one time. Okay, so there's this guy. So he's like, hey, okay. He likes this girl. You know, there's this guy. He likes this girl. This is he's 12. All right, and then he goes up to the girl. He's like, hey girl, you like boys? Cause I'm a boy. And she says, yeah, I like boys, but I don't like you. So then the guy, he's really sad. He's really sad. The 12-year-old, he's like really sad, and then he walks away. And then the next year, so he goes. He's 13 years old now, and then he goes up to the girl. He's like, hey girl, are you a minecart? Cause I want to ride you. And then she's like, I'm sorry, but I don't like you. I don't like you the same way. So, yeah, I'm not gonna date you. I'm sorry. Okay. So hold on. Just wait just a second, you guys. Wait. So you won't get this part. So, when he is 14 years old, he goes up to the same girl. He's like, hey girl, are you a slime ball? Cause you make my piston sticky. And then she says, no, I'm drier than something that's dry than Sweet Baboo's content, you know. And then a whole year later, like 365 days, 52 weeks, and 365 days. This is just getting crazy at this point. Oh, hold on. You guys have seen nothing yet. Hold on, I forgot 12 months too. A year's 12 months too. So, so this guy, he's 15 now. He's like, hey girl, you like Kevin from SpongeBob? And you know this is what makes the girl, like, you don't even understand, dude. Like, she wanted to marry him on the spot. Because, all you need to do is mention Kevin from SpongeBob. And then she's just, like, all over you. You know what I mean? I know from personal experience. So she says, yes, I will go out with you. And then he's like, oh, you want to go to prom together? And then he's like, yeah, I'll go to prom. No, crap for you. You're not supposed to laugh yet. The joke's not over. Okay. So she's like, yeah, I'll go to prom with you. And then, so they both agree to go to prom, which is in the next week. Okay, it's like a week from now, 7 whole days, with 24 hours per day. So then, the prom, the evening, the afternoon of prom finally arrives. So the guy, the kid, the boy, we'll call him Ted. Um, so he was like trying to find a good limousine to buy, and then like one of them was like really expensive, but it was really fancy, and then hold on, I'll show you. Lambo prices. So he's like, hey, this 2017 McLaren 570 S38L twin seat, you know, that's a really nice Lamborghini. But that's $66,900. But there's also it could also roll up in a $16,000 Tonio Lamborghini Casa LTN, which is a lot cheaper. So what he did was he's a smart shopper. All right, so he looked up the ratings of the cars and the efficiency of like the gas mileage. So if we look up, it's in a used condition though. It's almost $70,000, but it's in a used condition and no returns. That's really, really, really. I don't know. That's very expensive, but there's also this one. It's $16,000. So the other one, this one, is like $50,000 more. than the other one, you know? And he doesn't, the website that he was looking at, it doesn't even show like the gas mileage or anything like that. How are we going to save the environment? Is it environmentally friendly? So he decided to go with the it's literally so he decided to go with the $16,000 Lamborghini because he was on a budget, you know. But then it was time to pick out a suit to wear. So there's this really snazzy suit. It was black and it was white. It was a black and white tux. It was a really nice tuxedo. It made him look really snazzy. But you know, it was $12,450. You know, that's a lot of money for a tuxedo. So, but there was also another one. It was a more casual suit. It was like business casual suit. You know, it would make him look less snazzy, but it would also save him a lot of money. You know, like what if the date didn't work out? You guys know what I mean? So then they both go. Well, he finally decides to choose the nice tuxedo because he went cheap on the Lamborghini, which actually turned out to be a desk once it arrived. But it was kind of sad, though. You can't really drive a desk, so we kind of just had to, like, push it to the destination. But it was fine. It was fine. She didn't mind it at all. But the thing is, she also had a dilemma at her own house. So she was wondering whether she should wear sneakers or high heels. You know, like sneakers, they're much more comfortable, and she'd be able to dance better with those sneakers. You know, but then the heels, they would make her look a lot taller. You know what I mean? Like she would be so much taller and more fancy. You know what I mean? But you know, there's really, I don't know, there's ups and downs to both of them. So after like hours of deciding what shoes to wear, she decided to go with the sneakers because she watched sweetbaboo's stream and followed his Twitch and saw Connor Gunn watching sweetbaboo tell a story, and he says that sneakers are good. So, what she did was she chose the sneakers and subscribed to sweetbaboo on Twitch. And then she was wondering, like, should she wear a skirt or a dress? Like, she already has a nice... Oh, hi, Cax Jr. So she already had like some casual sneakers, so she decided to go with the dress. It was a nice red dress. It was a nice red dress. It was a super down Michaela Star mini dress in red, size extra small, also in extra small, from Revolve for $32 at revolve.com/superdown Michaela Star mini dress in red DP BTWR WD320 women's CCLAD, and then yeah, and it was 100% polyester. It was really nice, hand washed cold, fully lined, adjustable shoulder straps, burnout star detail, hidden black zipper closure, Revolve style number BTWR WD320, and manufacturer style number BTD 217 S18. Alright, you know, you guys, you know, it's really good. So she decided to wear that. But then, like, what hairstyle would go with both her sneakers and she didn't know a hairstyle would go with both her sneakers, her dress, that was super down, Michaela, 100% polyester, hand washed cold, fully lined, adjustable shoulder straps, burnout star detail, hidden black zipper closure, remove style number VTWR WD320, manufacturer style number BTD 217 S80. Like, she didn't know what would go with them, you know? So she decided, she was wondering whether she should put her hair in braids or just let it flow down, you know, because like both look good on her, but she was kind of like having a dilemma. So after looking at herself in the mirror with the braids and with her really long hairstyle, she decided that neither would work and she should just cut off all of her hair. So she was bald. So at this time she was now bald, and she walks outside, and then she sees the guy, Ted. Yeah, we called him Ted. He was pushing the desk to her house, and then she walks over to him, and then she sits on the desk, and then he pushes it all the way to the prom. Alright, so they're at the prom now, and they're dancing for a little bit, and then she's like, but Ted, I'm hungry. You know, because you just get hungry sometimes. It just happens. Am I right, you guys? You guys ever get hungry? Am I right? Like, it just happens. You don't even know. Like, when you don't even eat enough food or anything like that, it's strange, you know? I don't know why it happens. But, yeah, so they go, and they get some Doritos. But they couldn't decide between the Cool Ranch Doritos or like the sweet and spicy chili Doritos or the nacho cheese Doritos. So they decided after careful consideration that the Cool Ranch Doritos with extra toppings, with extra spices, would be the best way to go. Because all of those extra spices would make it so much tastier, and the original Doritos, those are so basic. Who eats those? And the spicy chili, it does not have nearly enough spice for them. It is spicy, but it doesn't have like all that flavoring, you know what I mean? So yeah, they had to get they needed to get the flavoring on it. So they chose the Cool Ranch Doritos. And then they start eating their Doritos, but oh no, all of the flavoring from the Cool Ranch Doritos they get on her dress, you know? So they go to the laundromat and they have the guy they hang it up. All right, and then he washes the dress. But since it is cold clean, hold on. But since it is 100% polyester hand wash cold, he has a little bit of trouble with it because he needs to hand wash it cold. You know what I mean? He couldn't even put it in a washing machine or anything like that. So he cleans off the dress, all of the Cool Ranch flavoring tortilla chip. The Cool Ranch tortilla chip flavoring from the Doritos off of her dress using cold water and with his hands, and then waits for it to dry. He waits about like 5 minutes for this to dry. He like checks his watch while he's waiting for it to dry. You know, like he has to make sure it's completely dry, or else his client, they would be angry and they would tell other people that his business was bad. And he doesn't want people to think his business is bad. He already got a 3-star review on Yelp the other day. So he needs to make sure that he correctly cleans this dress. So he waits for it to dry, waits for it to be completely dry so that his clients are not angry. And then he hands it back to the girl, who happens to now have grown hair. She grew at least 3 3/4 inches of hair, which is kind of strange. Hold on. But this is a little bit strange, since she was a little bit, this is very strange, because since she was bald, then her hair grew 2.5 inches. You know what I mean? In like just a short amount of time, in 5 minutes. You know what I mean? She needs long and healthy hair fast, and she has the right diet. Do you guys want to know what her diet was? Well, too bad. I'm not watching this entire video. So then he hands back the dress to the girl, and she puts it on. You know, she puts it on with her sneakers and her now 3 3/4 inch hair. She puts it on, and then they both walk back to the prom, which is still going on, surprisingly, because they just took an entire trip to the laundromat on a desk. Like, he was pushing the desk, so it took a really long time. You guys wouldn't understand. Like, this took a long time. So he pushes her on the desk back to the prom, and then she's like, so now I'm thirsty, you know, from all that sitting on a desk and hair growing, because, you know, drinking, it automatically just goes to your head, literally, and grows out into hair. So they were like, hey, we should get some punch, because some punch would be good. But the thing is, like, the line, it was really long. So went back to the Doritos. They went back to the Doritos, and this time they chose to eat the spicy, sweet chili Doritos because those are really good. And there were also cheese puffs. But since they were eating so unhealthily, that's a lot of cheesy snacks. That is a lot of cheesy snacks. So they needed to eat something healthier. Luckily for them, there were cashews. They were sitting at the table. They were like, hey, let's take a couple cashews. So they were like, hey, we should have like 24 cashews each. So then they count out the cashews. They take one cashew for Ted, and then one cashew for her. And then 2 cashews for Ted, and then 2 cashews for her. And then 3 cashews for him, and then 3 cashews for her. And then 4 cashews for Ted, and 4 cashews for her. And then 5 cashews for him, 5 cashews for her, 6 cashews for Ted, 6 cashews for her, 7 cashews for Ted, and then 7 cashews also for her, and 8 cashews for him, and then 8 cashews for her, 9 cashews for him, 9 cashews for her, 10 cashews for him. Oh wait, oh no, they lost count. How are we going to keep track of all these cashews? The only solution is to put them back in the bowl of cashews and then recount them. So, one cashew, it goes to Ted. And then another cashew, 1 cashew goes to her. And then 2 cashews, they both go to Ted. And then another 2 cashews, they go to her. Now they both have 3 cashews, because they kind of counted this weird. He got 1, and then he got 2, and then she got 1, and then she got 2. So then they give him 1 more to make it 4 cashews for Ted. And then 4 cashews for her. And then 5 cashews. There will be 5 cashews for Ted. And then 5 cashews for her. And then 6 cashews for him. And then 6 cashews for her. And then 7 cashews for him, and then 7 cashews for her, and then 8 cashews for him, and then 8 cashews for her, and then 9 cashews for him, and then 9 cashews for her, and then 10 cashews for Ted. Now he has 10 cashews, double digits for Ted, and then there are 10 cashews also for her, and then they count out another cashew to give him 11 cashews. And then they give her another cashew to make 11 cashews. Then 12 cashews for him. Then 12 cashews for her. And then 13 cashews for him. And 13 cashews for her. And 14 cashews for him. And 14 cashews for her. We just need 10 more cashews. Alright? For both him and her. Which is 20 cashews in total. Because there are 2 of them. And 20 divided by 2 is 10. Which is 10 for each, plus the 14 that they already have, would equal 24 each. So then he gets one more cashew to give him 15 cashews. They have 29 cashews in total. And then they give her 1 cashew to make it 15. And then they give him 16 cashews. And then they give her 16 cashews. Then they give him 17 cashews. And then they give her 17 cashews. Him 18 cashews. And then her 18 cashews, and then him 19 cashews, and then her 19 cashews, and then him 20 cashews, and then her 20 cashews, and then him 21 cashews, and then her 21 cashews, and then him 22 cashews, and then her 22 cashews, and then him 23 cashews, and then her 23 cashews, and then him 24 cashews, which is the amount that they both had agreed upon at the beginning. Before, they had started counting up the cashews, but then lost count, and then started counting the cashews up again. So now he has 24 cashews, which is a healthy amount of cashews. After eating all those Doritos, it's a healthy substitute. You know what I mean? And all the natural oils coming from the nuts, from the cashews. That would be good. So now he just got 1 more. It was 24. And then 24 is also 12 plus 2. So yeah. That's also a good factoid of information that can help you out through life. And then they give her a singular more cashew. 1 cashew. Only a single cashew. Just 1. To her. In order to give them both 24 cashews. 24 cashews for each. And 48 cashews combined. So then they eat their cashews. He eats 1 cashew. And then she eats another cashew. and then he eats a cashew, we're making him eating 2 cashews, and then she eats another cashew. So they've both eaten 2 cashews each. And then he eats another cashew, and then he eats 3 more cashews, because he's kind of greedy. He won't wait. And then she eats another cashew, making it 4. So now he has eaten 7 cashews, and she has eaten 4 cashews. So he eats another cashew, making it 8, and then she eats another cashew, making it 5, and then she eats 2 more cashews, making it 7. So now he has eaten 7 cashews, and she has also eaten 7 cashews. And then he eats a cashew, and then she eats a cashew, making it 8 cashews for the both of them. Okay. So now. They both have eaten 8 cashews each. So then he eats 1 cashew, and then she eats another cashew. And then he eats a cashew, and then she eats a cashew. And then he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew. And he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew. And he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew. And he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and then he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and he eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and she eats a cashew, and then he eats a cashew, and then she eats a cashew, and then he eats a cashew, and then she eats a cashew, and then he eats a cashew, and then she eats a cashew, and then he eats a cashew, making it 48 total cashews consumed. But wait, they want 3 more cashews each. No, not each. They just wanted 3 cashews. So they needed to split it. So what they did was they took 3 cashews. They had 1 to themselves, but then they had an extra cashew. So what they needed to do, they took a ruler and measured the cashew with the ruler. And then what they decided to do was break it in half, because then they would give them both half a cashew. But then it seemed like he had a little bit more cashew than she had. So he cut off a little bit more of the cashew than from his, and then gave it to her. Alright? So then he gave her part of the cashew, and then they both ate their parts of their pieces of cashew. And then they both what did they do? They lined up, alright, at the line for Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Alright, so they waited in the line of Flamin' Hot Cheetos. There were about 8 people in front of them. So they were just talking about the world, they were talking about all the current politics. And, yeah, like Kevin from SpongeBob, the reason why they had both met in the first place. They were also talking about, just anti-disestablishmentarianism. And Kevin Hart, because those are both very vivid storytelling. Well, not storytelling, but really how do you say it? Conversation topics. They're very good and creative conversation topics. And then the line is over for the Flamin' Hot Cheetos. So they eat some Flamin' Hot Cheetos. They decide to have 6 Flamin' Hot Cheetos each. So he eats a Flamin' Hot Cheeto, and then she has a Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And then he eats another Flamin' Hot Cheeto, and then she eats another Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And then he eats a Flamin' Hot Cheeto, and then she eats a Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And he eats 2 Flamin' Hot Cheetos, and then she eats 1 Flamin' Hot Cheeto, and then another Flamin' Hot Cheeto a minute later. And then he eats his last Flamin' Hot Cheeto, and then she eats a Flamin' Hot Cheeto. And, then, she thinks that the last Flamin' Hot Cheeto is just a little bit subpar. You know what I mean? It was a little bit small. So then she eats a big Cheeto. But then he feels, he feels left out. He feels left out because she had an extra Cheeto. So he also eats a Cheeto. Alright? And now it's time to wait into the next line. Alright? So they get into the line for salt and vinegar chips, sea salt and vinegar chips. And because sea salt and vinegar chips, they're very good. Although they can burn your mouth if you eat a bunch of them and then make your mouth sore. But I think it is worth it for the very good taste of sea salt and vinegar chips, especially Lay's sea salt and vinegar chips. So then what they do is they wait in line. There are about 3 people in the line for sea salt and vinegar chips. Yeah. They wait in the line for sea salt and vinegar chips, and they talk about more SpongeBob, and they also talk about Fortnite WTF moments number 202, because their favorite Fortnite YouTuber had just uploaded, and they wanted to watch their Fortnite WTF moments number 202, because it was a very, very riveting conversation about Fortnite WTF moments number 202. Um, and then by the time that they were done talking about that, they ate some sea salt and vinegar chips. But after consuming the salt, because the salt, it like it raises the what is it called? It raises the salt content of the water. I forget what it's actually called. But yeah, it raises the salt content in their bodies. So like they were thirsty. They needed some water. So finally, they decided to get some punch, and there was no punchline.